Good morning. How is everybody today? So, let me just get some light on the subject here. This video is the one I should have done last night. Um, we went to the VA yesterday. It was a late appointment. By the time I got back home and fed and cooked and everything, I did not have time to jump on for my video. So I figured let's do it today. And we are using the Fluffiest Friends. And it is this stamp set right here. You will not find it in the catalog. This stamp set is under the online exclusive tab in the store. Okay, so that's where you'll find that. And just so everyone knows, you can take an extra 10% off until June 30th on all the stamp and die bundles. Okay, so it's just a limited time. And plus, you can also save 10% on the cut and emboss machine and the mini cut and emboss machine. All right. So those are the two things you can save on. So we have two quick and easy cards, one with designer series paper and one with paper that I created to do the card. And we'll start with this one because we have a lot of coloring to do. All right. So we're starting with Balmy Blue, and it's 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at 4.25. And I will have the measurements for these cards on my blog probably tomorrow. All right. So there's our card base. Then we are going to layer it up with Azure Afternoon, and that measures 4.75 by 3.5. Then we have a basic white layer that is 3.25 by 4.5. All right. So that's going to be layered up. But before we can layer it up, we are going to take the dies from the plane in the rain. It's this die for the clouds. And what I did was I took some mask, okay, and I laid it out on some cardstock and die cut the clouds. So this is the mask. And we're just going to take these clouds and we are going to lay them on this basic white layer. And I'm just going to stick them all around. Let's get this little one over here. And I'm just going to see, I have one more here. Yes, I have one more that I'm going to add. Hey, Karen, how are you? Ah, it's warm out there today here anyway. It's very muggy. All right, so let's just see if I can't get this out. There we go. This is the one problem when you die cut and you put the paper on. It's very difficult to get apart. Let me see if I can use a different one. There we go. Let's try this one. I got a few here, and I'm not sure. There we go. All right, so here's the mask, and I'm just going to put one more cloud right here. So these, like I said, this is from Playing in the Rain, and I just die cut the clouds using the masking tape. All right, and we're just layering it on our layer. And then I'm going to take some Balmy Blue ink or the Balmy Blue stamp pad, and we're just going to ink up our brush. And I'm going to start at the bottom because we want it a little darker at the bottom, and we are just going to add some color. Whoops. So we just want to color and blend. Stinker. I don't want to use anything to lay that down because it's going to stick. So we'll just go very gently. But I want to get this sky on this layer. All right. So like I said, we want it to be a little lighter at the top and a little darker at the bottom. And it doesn't have to be perfect because it is the sky. So you can have little blotchy sections. But we're going to just blend this out. All right. So we have a nice blue sky. 73 degrees. Humidity is low. It is 78 here, but our humidity just seems like it's so high today. I could be wrong. Let's see. Yeah, 68% humidity. All right, so we're going to take our clouds off. And even though it didn't look like I blended much color, you can see that there is color on this background, right? So there is our sky. The next thing I'm going to do, so I don't forget, and let's see what I did with that stamp. I need my memento. I was doing my video this morning for Patreon, so everything is all over the place. And you matters to so many. Okay, where did that stamp go? It's probably sitting right here in front of my face, and I don't see it. All right, I'm going to look in here one more time. There it is, right there. You matter to so many. So it's not in my stamp box. Oh, look, there it is on the back of this one. See, I knew it was here. So we're just going to grab our memento, and I am going to ink this sentiment up. And I'm going to lay it up here at the top of this layer. All right, so our sentiment is on our layer. All right, so to save some time, I already stamped and die cut our little guys, our little friends, and we are going to color these up. So for the little bird, we're going to start with some light Poppy Parade, and I'm just going to color him up with Poppy Parade. So we're just going to fill him in real quick. So he's got a nice red coat on him. All right. Quick and easy. Then we're going to grab our cherry cobbler and we're going to add some shadow. So of course I want to go under where his little wing is. I'm going to go under his belly a little bit, and then up here under his neck. And that was dark cherry cobbler. And then I'm going to take, that's light real, here's real red, I'm going to take dark real red, and we're going to blend that out, and then just add a bit of more color. All right, so we're just going to blend that out a little bit, pull it up, and then we're going to go back to that light Poppy Parade, and we're going to just blend this out. Go right over what you just did, just to blend it out a little bit. All right, and that little bird. Thanks, Karen. I figured today would be I don't know if during the day is good or bad. So there we have our little bird. Next, we're going to grab this little guy, and I am going to grab some dark and light summer splash and light shaded spruce. And we're just going to go around the outside here with light shaded spruce. We're going to grab that dark summer splash, and we're going to come around and just try to fill in some of that area. And I'm going around the balloon, and then we're going to go over that edge and just fill in some more white space. And I'm actually going to grab that dark shaded spruce, and I'm just going to go around that edge with dark shaded spruce. And I'm going to grab that dark summer splash again. I like my darks to be really dark on the outside, so you see a difference in what you're coloring. And then this is the light summer splash, and I'm just going to quick go over it. Okay, so then it looks like there's a little highlight there. Bill he's feeling okay. His liver is really bothering him a lot. He calls his liver Fred. So Fred is bothering him a lot. We had our hematology appointment because he's supposed to have an ablation done on the ventricles of his heart, but he had the blood clot. So we had to go to hematology so we can find out why the blood clot formed when he is on 2 blood thinners. So that procedure is canceled for at least 3 months. And now we have blood work to go through so he can try to find out why he's forming blood clots being on blood thinners. All right, so this is dark crumb cake, and we're going to go around the outside here and then underneath and outside here. Okay. I don't want to do his cheeks because it'll clash. So let's go inside his ears, and we'll come up and around his nose. All right. Then we're going to grab that light crumb cake, and this time we'll go around his face, and we're going to come, whoops, I forgot under his face. We're just gonna fill in some color here. I'm just gonna grab this and go under here and over and under his little hands. And Sheba's doing okay. She's a crazy girl. She likes to drive me nuts. All right, so we're just filling in some space. We want to get this so we're filling in all this white space, okay? And then I have Stampin' Up's number 700. I think this is the one I want. Let's see. Nope, that one's too dark. I want something lighter. I think we'll do 800. Let's see. Yeah, that's better. And we're just going to fill him in. Oh, it's a different color. That's all right. So I'm going to go over everything now. I'm going to avoid his little feet. But we're just going to fill in. And I chose the wrong color. So what I'm going to do, let's avoid his nose, which is easily fixed. I'm going to go back to my dark crumb cake and add those shadows back in. All right. The light crumb cake, we're just going to go over what we did in light crumb cake. Fill in that space. So what we're trying to do is just get rid of the white, okay? And then with the light crumb cake again, I'm going to go over everything, avoiding that little nose. This will blend everything together. And then we're going to go with some bubble bath and fill in his nose and fill in his feet. All right, so there is that little chipmunk. Next, we'll get the bunny. And we are going to use Smoky Slate. And that was the two I did. So again, we're just going to add all our shadows in first. So let's get the inside, and this is dark Smoky Slate. Okay, and we're going to come around the outside of his body. We're going to do this the same as we did with that little, I guess it's a hamster or chipmunk. So we're going to do the same thing. We're getting those little feet. We're going to leave his feet. And we're going to go underneath his little paws. Okay. And we're going to come down where his leg is and his bottom. We're going to fill in this spot here. We're going to come around his face. And then just down here where his ears are. I'm going to actually go around this part of his face. All right, so we're just outlining to get all our shadows. Next, using the light Smoky Slate, we're going to outline all the places that we didn't outline before. All right, and this little ear here. All right, then we're going to extend on the color that we colored. So again, we want to fill in this white because there's so much white. Let's go around his foot, fill in this section here, come down and around his foot. All right. So all our areas that we needed to extend our color, we extended. Next, we are going to take the same light blend and we're just going to blend over everything. We're going to avoid his nose. Okay, come down his ear. And I'm going to avoid that foot so I can do it without ruining it. All right. So now I can go around his toes. I'm going to go around the pad of his foot and do the same thing on this side. Bill's in there singing, Karen. All right, so there is our little bunny. This time we're going to get some Pretty in Pink. And we're going to do his nose and his little feet in Pretty in Pink. Okay. And we're going to grab do his little cupcake. And I'm going to grab some sweet sorbet and do the little cherry. And then I'm going to grab the petunia pop. And we're going to just color in the petunia pop and leave the little cupcake. I want to add some light spots, so I'm going to grab my color blender or color lifter, and we're just going to lift some of the color in certain areas. And then we'll get a little in his belly. All right, so there is our bunny, our chipmunk, and our bird. All right. Now we can grab our layers to our card. And we're going to add our sky to the matte layer. And I'm going to add my tape to here. And get my sky on here so it's straight. All right, just like that. You can't hear them? Well, that's good. Oh. All right, we're going to add some glue and add this to the front of the card. Make sure it's on there straight. So just quick and easy, right? Now we're going to put our little fellas on. So let's grab those dimensionals. And we're going to start with the bunny. And we're going to get him on here first. Getting him on there centered. We're going to grab that little chipmunk. And I'm guessing that's what he is. We're going to add our dimensionals. And when we put him on, we're just going to tuck him under that bunny's hair and line him up. And then we have our little bird. And I did him in red because I have a cardinal that follows me. He's outside here, outside my window. He lands in the trees next to me. when I take Sheba out for a walk, any time of day, this cardinal is always here. So that's why I did the little bird in red. And we're going to put his feet right on that balloon. And there is the front of our card. All right, quick, hey, do. That's fine. I know you're busy. All right, so there's the front of our card. For the inside, I did it really easy. Okay, I grabbed those little flowers and some memento, and I'm going to just ink these flowers up and stamp them right here at the bottom of the card. Quick and easy. And I grabbed the green Stampin' Right marker, and we are just going to quick color in some leaves. All right. I'm going to grab that Daffodil Delight and just put a dot in each of the flowers. And then I want to get something light for the flowers itself. So let's grab some Flirty Flamingo, color in those petals. So today these cards are all about coloring and quick and easy. All right. And then we're going to grab our matte layer, add some tape runner, get this on here, straight and centered, and then we can add it to the inside of our card. All right, so there is our first card. Quick and easy. Thanks, Karen. All right, so here's another one. Quick and easy. But this time I used basic white 11 by 4 1/4. And of course it's scored at 5 1/2. That's our normal card base. Then we have some garden green. And I cut this 5 1/4 by 4. And we cut some designer series paper. This is the Thoughtful Journal Journey 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. Now before we even do anything, we're going to grab our designer series paper and these little bumblebees along with our memento, and we are going to add some bumblebees to this corner of the card. All right, I just stamped some bumblebees 3 times. And we're going to color them up. I'm going to use some Daffodil Delight, and we're just going to color in their body. Okay, how's that for easy? Now, in the Fluffiest Friends, it has some cute little die cuts. We've got a little branch. We've got some leaves. Let's see where the rest of these leaves are. Oh, don't tell me they fell out. All right, well, I guess they did. Crazy leaves, that's fine. We'll just use 2. And this cute little, oh, here it is, right there. And this cute little honey, beehive. Honey hive, I was going to say. So what we're going to do with the hive is I am going to grab a blending brush. Oh, there it is on the table. And some Daffodil Delight. Now, actually, we're going to grab some pumpkin pie. And we're just going to add a bit of color around this hive. Just to give it, let's get this side a little bit. All right, just to give it a little bit of dimension. And I'm going to grab my crumb cake Stampin' Right marker, and I am just going to fill in the circle in the center of this beehive. All right. Yeah, this paper is pretty. Thanks, Stu. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this branch. We're going to add a little bit of glue. We don't want too much so it oozes out. And we're going to add it right up here to the top of this card. I'm just going to scoot it over a little because I'm going to trim that piece off. Okay. We're going to get a dimensional. And we're going to pop this beehive up. So it's hanging on that tree. And then we're going to add some leaves. Let's put one here and one here. And we'll put one here. So we'll take a large one. I'm going to put a little bit more glue there. Okay. This little one will stick up here. And then we'll put the large one over here. All right, just so we have a little tree. Now we can get our layers. Just make sure I have the right one. Yep, but before we do that, let's grab a pair of scissors, and I'm just going to snip off the end of that little branch. Okay, this one I can add glue because the designer series paper is nice and thick. And we're going to add it to this matte layer. Pull in our card base. And add this to the front of the card. All right, so there is the front of our card. Let's pull in our little bear, and I'm gonna grab the rest of my blends here. Let's make some room because we're gonna color this little bear. Now we're gonna start with a dark color, and that is Stampin' Up! 100. And I think I told you in the catalog, these are now natural. These are the natural blends, and you can find them on page 131. And this would be the deep combo pack, okay? That's where this color is. They changed the name. And I am actually going to, instead of using 100, I'm going to grab the 200 because it's a little bit more like a chocolate color. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to come around this bear. All right. We're going to come around his legs. and his foot, around his belly. And I'm going to leave where that foot is, and we're going to do this foot. Here's a little hand, so let's color that hand in. And then we're going to come under his face. All right. Let's just outline this side of his face a little bit. And that's all our, oh, and around his nose. All right. So that was 200. Then we're going to pull in our dark copper clay and light copper clay. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to extend this color. So like I said, what we want to do is we want to fill in this white. We're going to leave that leg, okay? But we're going to come around his foot. Now we're going to come around his leg. And up his belly. Let's fill that spot in. And we're going to come around his hand or paw and under that honey and extend this color. All right, so what we're doing is just extending color. Let's get under his face. And we'll do in here. Go around that honey pot. Okay. Now we're going to come up and around his nose. And we're going to avoid that eye. Come up here. Let's get in those ears, the top of his head, and we're going to come down and leave a little spot. All right, so we're just filling in, and that was dark copper clay. Now go to the light copper clay, and we're going to extend this color out. So you want to go over that edge. We want to fill in this color. Let's come around his leg and his belly. So this is a quick way, instead of trying to figure out how to do hair, this is a quick and easy way. And we're going to get this arm to fill in the teddy bear. All right, so let's go around here. We're going to come up, avoid that eye, come up on his head, fill in. Let's go right around that ear. All right. And we need another light color. Let's try this one. What is this one? This is 400. What is that? That's too dark. Here's 600. All right, so now 600, we're going to do it again. So we're just building our colors and filling in our bear. Okay. So we're just filling in. Let's go around those ears. Now we want something that's very light. I think we'll do 900. So we're going to fill in all these spots that we missed. All right. So we're just going to fill that in really quick. All right. So the bear has the bear has lots of colors, but now we're going to give it a wash of color. I'm going to go right over his nose because we want all these colors to blend together. All right, so we're just going to give it a wash of color. So I'm just going over everything. I'm avoiding his foot right now. And this just helps blend everything together. Gives him a little texture. He looks like he's got a little bit of texture. And I'm going to go back to that 600. And we're going to just give his foot some color. And then I'm going to fill it in with that light 900. All right. And then we got to do the little pads of his feet. So let's get it in a darker color. This is 400. So let's get the pads. All right. Thanks, Stu. So now let's start with the honey pot. We're going to grab our light and dark cherry cobbler and our poppy parade again. So with the dark cherry cobbler, I am going to be following these lines right here. And we're just going to add some little swoops of color. Okay. And then we want to go underneath this rim. And we're going to put the darkest shadow on the right-hand side of that honey. Okay. And then just pull the color down. That's dark cherry cobbler. Next, I have light cherry cobbler. And I am going to do what? I'm going to extend that color out. Because again, we want to fill everything in. I'm going to pull that over. Pull that color down. And we're going to follow the honey around. And then we're going to just extend that color on the right-hand side. And over here on that left side. All right. Then we're going to take our light poppy parade. And we're going to fill in the white around the edge of the jar. And we're going to get this color in here. All right, so we have a white spot right there. All right. I know how that goes. Have fun, Axel. And then we're going to just give it a wash of color. So his little honey pot is all done. Now for the, oh, I forgot the silly me, this part of the pot. So we're going to do this with, that's the dark. And then we're going to grab the light poppy parade again. All right. And we're going to grab some Daffodil Delight and Lemon Lolly. Where are you, Lemon Lolly? There you are. Light Lemon Lolly and dark Daffodil Delight, along with, which this is a little crazy, dark Fresh Freesia. So on the left-hand side, we're going to add some dark fresh freesia right down that honey. All right. Then we're going to take the dark daffodil delight and we're going to go over that purple. Just extend it a little bit. Come around this right side, add a little bit of color, and then finish it off with that light lemon lolly. And then we'll let that dry. All right, let's pull in our card. I forgot his little grass. And we're going to do it in, there it is, some crumb cake. Just going to ink that up. I'm going to have to die cut this. And all I did was I took crumb cake, dark and light, and I filled in these little spaces in between the sticks. And I should have done this before. I'm sorry. So we're just filling in some of this space in between these sticks. Just to give it a little bit of color difference. All right, and that was dark crumb cake. We're going to just grab that light crumb cake and color the sticks. All right. And of course, we gotta grab that Fluffiest Friends. There's a die for this pile of sticks. So I'm gonna just run it through really quick. And I might need to add a little bit of darkness. All right. I forgot these two right here. All right, so there's our pile of sticks. We're just going to add some glue. And add this to the bottom of the card. Okay, grab our little teddy bear. Let's add a few dimensionals to him. And sit him right on that pile of sticks. It looks like he's having lots of fun. That was quick. I wish Sheba was that quick. That girl, she drives me crazy. All right, so how cute is he, right? So for the inside, just something really quick and easy. We have our matte layer of garden green, our basic white, and I messed up all my pieces. There it is. And I have a small strip of garden green and a small strip of the designer series paper that is on the front of the card. So we are going to grab our glue and we're going to add a line of glue right down the side, and we're going to add this designer series paper right to the edge. And you can decide if you want more sky, however you want. And then I'm going to just make sure it's even with the edges. All right, and it looks to be. And then I'm going to take that glue again, and I'm going to run another bead of glue right down the edge and grab that small little strip, and I'm going to lay it right next to it. I want it to butt up against that designer series paper. And I think, yep. All right, so we're going to let that dry for a second. We're going to grab that memento and those cute little bees. And I'm going to put some bees in the corner. While that ink dries, let's grab a pair of scissors. We're going to trim this off. All right. We're going to grab that Daffodil Delight and color in the body of these bees. And we don't want to leave their wings. So I am going to take a light balmy blue, and I'm just going to add a little bit of blue to their wings. And it dries fairly light, so I'll show you how it dries. See, it's very, very light. Yeah, well, Sheba goes, I hear you. Sheba goes out every hour. Drives me crazy sometimes. Because there are times where she'll go out and she just wants to hunt. Not hunt, but we have bunnies in the yard and she loves going after the bunnies. And then the mules have been out in the field out back. She loves the mules. So she's got to investigate everything that's going on. All right, let's add our glue. Grab our card. And we'll add this right to the center. All right. So there is our little honey bear and all his little friends. Yeah, she is. Axel is 7. That's true. She is still a baby. I keep forgetting because she's so big that she's still not even 2 years old. I mean, it's crazy. 81-pound baby. So I hope you like today's cards. And yeah, that's for sure, do. And I hope you get a chance to make them yourselves. So thanks for joining me. Sorry about last night. Have a great rest. Thanks, Stu. Have a great rest of your day. And I will talk to everybody soon. Bye-bye.